Hola amigos, today we have a cartoon car of Fernando Alonso's championship winning Renault R25 from the 2005 Formula 1 season. Alright, let's take a look at this guy. I have another one of these branded F1 cars and I was so impressed that I'm going to get, this and the another one. I forget what it is right now, but it's in the mail somewhere. Okay, so this is made by Mini Racing, kind of a generic name. It's not licensed, so I guess they can come up with any name they want, because this brand probably won't be around in a few years. Alright. No tape holding this together. Alright, so be mindful of that. This is a resin model, so there's probably going to be a lot of details, and it was expensive. So these are 2005 images of that car, I believe. It did morph, it had some weird front wings, but these are the ones that kind of match this model, so I pulled them up here. Here's more of a top three-quarter view. Alright. Side view. So there's the foreshortening there, although, well, maybe I didn't scale the photo as well as I could have, because the tires are so small. And then you're not going to usually see much in the rear view of an F1 car, but maybe you can try. Okay. So anyways, I think this resin model was modeled after this car. It's not a different F1 car with this livery on it. So that's why I purchased this one. Okay, so let's get the pick out here. Well, first the base, it's got this metal placard here, and it's kind of like a sandblasted finish or something. It's not quite smooth, but it's mildly smooth. So, if you like F1 and cartoon cars, you better find this fast, because I can't imagine these will be around for long. I got this off AliExpress. Alright, well, let's see what we can try to get a better angle here. So yeah, the tires are fantastic because they got the Michelin printing and it's printed very nicely. The wheels, they're okay. Unfortunately, there's no brake system. That would have been nice to have, because there's such open spokes, you can see the body just through it, right? But you'll see they do have a tread, and they are rubbery. Hopefully they'll stay that way for a long time. There is a belly pan here, an under diffuser, just a separate piece of plastic for the model though. And then yeah, you can see here on the side, like this is a giveaway, I think, to the fact that this casting is specific to this car. This like diagonal wing, and then this is a separate piece of plastic, this wing here. You'll notice the paint is very smooth, so they have some good painters, whoever made this thing, whatever factory. I'm noticing these two little pods here on the side. I don't know what they are, what their purpose is. I don't see those on the photographs though, so that's interesting. Okay, so the front wing, yeah. Now, these graphics, that's why, let's try to zoom in here. See the wrinkliness? So maybe this entire blue thing is a decal. You can see it squished up there. And then, but here, this is smooth paint when I'm touching here. This is a decal, and that decal is running across the front lip of this thing. So, and then this seems to be a decal even underneath there. So yeah, these are decals. I think they're on top of the clear coat as well. Alright, Telefonica. Yeah, decal looks nice. So let's get this angle here. I don't know if the car is listing. I don't think it's actually laying flat, which is too bad. Maybe I could adjust the screws later, but even so, look at, if this was flat, these are not. These are like at an angle, so I don't know what the deal is with that. It's interesting. It's that purposeful. I don't see them on the photographs, so I have no idea if that's accurate or not. The mirrors are a little bit more horizontal. At least that one looks good. This one's still a little crooked. There's a center metal rod there. And then, okay, well, the suspension, I think those are metal pieces because they are so thin. Probably laser cut metal and bent. So there's also suspension rods here, the push rods to actuate the shocks inside the body here. So yeah, the sponsorship here on the nose, it's definitely a decal. You can definitely see the wrinkliness there. And then it goes smooth again where the decal is not there. Alright, there's some elf printing on the top of the mirrors. And then, yeah, you got two tiny metal antennae of some sort, or sensors. I'm not sure what they are. You can see the vent here. Boy, or can you? It's so dark, but can... Wow, alright, so that goes very far in. I think I'm bottoming out right there, so... yeah, it's definitely in darkness. I don't think there's a pattern back in there, though. So there's even decals right there on that barge board. Interesting. And also the tires have decals on both sides, so that's nice. Basic interior, there's a steering wheel with some minor details, but oddly there's no decal of harnesses. An F1 car would definitely have race harnesses, so it's strange that they didn't mold them into that seat or have a decal of them. Okay, so this red TV pod or whatever it is seems alright. It's on black. And then this thing here is just flat and painted black. That vent or induction to the engine. It's got these nice little side pods again. And then here you can see that ribbing of all the exhaust vents there to help cool off the engine bay. Maybe that's a fuel filler, not sure, but there you can see the decal crossing the gap. Yeah, alright. Very nice. It's interesting how the body wraps up here, kind of following the wheel. Okay. Very basic diffuser details and stuff like that. I don't know what this is. Look at the photo. It looks like it's some sort of vent or something. Maybe to cool off the differential or something. Okay, yeah, you can see the metal suspension rods, and then you can see a drive shaft horizontally going across. So that's pretty realistic looking. And interesting, yeah, there's some rubber O-rings holding this, spacing this thing off the display stand here. And actually now I'm noticing that the display has a pattern to it that you can hear. So the rear wing, yeah, it's got the decal on the bottom side. It's definitely curved like a real wing. And then also a broken up decal on the top. So that's actually pretty nice that they broke it up into 3 segments. But is there an air pocket? Maybe. Yeah, it was. Wow. Alright, so these are the exhaust vents there. Not much depth in the middle though. Focus on that. It's very cool. I mean, there's just so much detail going on with this, sculpturing of F1 cars, and then the fact that someone took the time to make a whole new CAD model of this F1 car, but super deformed. So it's really impressive, and so that's why I bought this. It's just, it's amazing, really, I think. A lot of you guys probably think I'm just crazy buying all these cartoon cars, but I find them more fascinating. At least I find this more fascinating than most 164 accurate looking vehicles. Okay, let's compare it to a couple other vehicles. In particular, that other one I have. You can search my history for this one. This is the RB16. Max Verstappen drove this one. And yeah, it's a different casting entirely. Let me get this spinning. As you can see, yeah, it's a totally different casting, so it's really impressive, the amount of work going into this from this mini racing brand. Let's give you a top view here. So the question is, which one of these do you like more? Well, I don't know. I almost think I like the darker one. There's even more details, little craziness, antennas. I also think that exhaust pipe on the dark one might be an aluminum tube. So I think there's just more effort going into that one. But they're both nice for sure. Alright, let's compare it to a couple other choro-q like vehicles, because these are definitely bigger than choro-qs. Or actually, sorry, here's a 1/64 scale Red Bull Racing F1 car. I think it's by Kyosho. Let me read the bottom of this thing. Yeah, this is by Kyosho, and this is an RB5. So this is just huge. Looking at the tires, it's almost like this looks like a 1/43rd scale deformed vehicle. Alright, let's get this out. I do have a choro-q of an old Honda F1 car. I think it's an RA272. But you'll see even, the choro-q has got really tiny tires. Whereas this Mini Racing, they're just doing their own thing. And here's a normal size choro-q. But even this R5 Turbo is significantly smaller. Right. Well, nevertheless, even if it's not remotely 1/64 scale or choro-q size, there's really not much choice, right? I mean, there just aren't many people willing to invest the amount of effort into making something so cool looking, in my opinion. So, yeah, I only hope they continue on making more F1 cars. Or if they can do an F1 car this well, I mean, I'd love to see other racing cars, like a Pikes Peak hill climb car super deformed, or some rally racing cars, or Paris-Dakar racing cars, or just any other thing that's crazy looking. I mean, F1 cars are some of the craziest looking four-wheeled vehicles you can do. So these guys can obviously do it, so. Alright, well, as I mentioned, I do have another F1 car coming in the mail somewhere, so hang out and we'll see a review of that someday. Alright, take care, guys.